Virginia's top three officials, all Democrats, standing their ground as the state's totally swept up in controversy. Governor Ralph Northam, identified as a person in blackface or draped in a Klan robe in his medical school yearbook. He denies that, but who knows? The state's lieutenant governor has been accused of sexual assault, and the state's third in line, the attorney general, he admits he once wore blackface at a college party. So, are people calling these people to step down, or they want them to stay? What's going on? Joining me now, conservative commentator Rob Smith and liberal commentator Wendy Osefo. All right, ladies first. Wendy, we'll start with you. I know what's going on here. It is an identity politics pretzel that you guys have wrapped yourself into, okay? Because you have the governor in blackface. If he resigns, you have the black lieutenant governor accused of sexual assault. And if he steps down, then you have another white Democrat in blackface. So if the lieutenant governor, he steps down and you replace him with the guy that was in blackface, that's going to make the black people angry. And if you let the lieutenant governor stay, accused of sexual assault, that's going to make the women angry.
Well, Virginia is in a pretzel.
Yes.
I don't think it's anything that the Democrats did per se. I always say that when it comes to issues of racism, it's not a GOP problem, it's not a Democratic problem, it is an American problem.
Well, it's a Democrat problem in Virginia.
No, it's not, so to speak, because we've had other issues in Virginia, Charlottesville, that has not been a Democrat problem.
Okay.
So
I'm just talking about the blackface thing, but I get your point.
Racism is as American as apple pie, and that's not something that we can argue.
What are you calling them to do?
I'm asking that they step down.
All of them?
I believe that the AG, as well as the governor...
So the two guys in blackface, you want them out?
Should step down.
And you want the black lieutenant governor accused of sexual assault to be governor?
No, I want the claims brought against him to be substantiated.
Okay, I agree with that. Rob, what do you think?
I think that it's very funny that when you see Democrats being racist, basically, then racism is all of a sudden an American problem.
It's always been,
and whenever
Rob.
there is a racial issue on the Republican side, then it is an example of some sort of deep-rooted issue with racism in the Republican Party.
That's
Look
true.
at the policies
let me just ask
forward.
you, would you forgive any of these Democrats for being in blackface, or is it something they can't recover from, they have to resign immediately?
I think for me, you know, look, I don't think that it's something that they can't recover from. I don't know if I necessarily want people to resign immediately. We were on here, I was with you when we talked about Roseanne, when the whole incident happened with her. And I feel that in situations like this, we always lose the opportunity to have a learning experience. I think that people realize that blackface is bad, but when we have these opportunities to tell them why it's bad, they just don't get it, and we don't teach them this.
I
think that is absolutely crazy that these people were in blackface. And by the way, that yearbook was when he was 25 years old.
Okay, well, so this is a learning experience on Water's World, as it always is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Wendy, about some of these comedians, entertainers. Let's take a look at some of their blackface episodes. We had Ted Danson, famously in blackface many, many years ago in an event. There he is right there. I mean, that's pretty outrageous. You had Jimmy Kimmel not too long ago dressed up as Karl Malone. I mean, he's a big Karl Malone fan. You know, I can't believe you can even find this online. Jimmy Fallon, I think, was Chris Rock at one point. Does it make a difference if it's a celebrity in an entertainment capacity to do blackface? Because I don't think it should make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference. And to go back to Rob's point, we do not know as a country that blackface is bad, because if we did, people would not do it. People only admit blackface is bad once they get caught. That is an issue.
I think 99% of the country thinks it's bad.
I do not think so, because honestly, what you always hear from people is they say, I was not trying to make offense to anyone. I was trying to represent a culture. That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
But if Wendy thinks that the governor and the AG should resign for being in blackface, what do you think should happen to the celebrities?
I absolutely think that there should be ramifications for their...
Ramifications?
Absolutely.
But we never
they can't resign. They're not in a political
No more
position.
late-night shows?
Yeah,
No
but when we
more.
had
No,
the liberal
seriously.
Wow, okay.
So I was watching Jimmy Kimmel do Karl Malone, and for me, the most offensive part of it wasn't him being in blackface. It was like the black voice that he used and that affectation. And you find so much with the liberal comedians that they're given a pass. Ted Danson, Jimmy Kimmel, all these people were given a pass. Sarah Silverman has done blackface as well. And so you never really see that outrage from the public when it's liberal.
I think Robert Downey Jr., he was in blackface. He was nominated
For an Academy
Yes,
Award.
sure
when he
was.
was in blackface. What was that movie?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder,
Yeah.
right. Juan Williams was on the 5 the other day, and he made a differentiation when celebrities do it, because he said that when these celebrities and entertainers were doing it, they liked the people that they were imitating in blackface. They were fans of Karl Malone. They were fans of Chris Rock. So he got into the intent. Do you make a differentiation?
It's not about the intent, because everyone knows the history of blackface, which comes from the 1830s, making fun of African Americans and stereotypes that have been juxtaposed to African Americans of being lazy, of being ignorant. Those things, you cannot take that away. Blackface represents that. It does not matter what the intent is. It is wrong.
Well, I can't believe people don't know that.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think that people just don't know. There's so many people that I talk to.
I think they don't
I
care.
think that people don't know the history behind blackface and why it is, and how it has been used to dehumanize African Americans,
absolutely.
and how these things, come up again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever this happens, we never really go into that conversation so people can understand why it is so hurtful to African Americans and to black people. And I think that we missed that moment, and I don't want to miss that moment this time, because I think that this is a teachable lesson.
All right. Well, Wendy, I think your mom would be proud because
Yay.
you didn't yell at anybody this time.
Hey, Mom, I did well.
Because we can agree that blackface is wrong.
Absolutely.
Like,
Very
liberal,
good. All right.
conservative.
Guys, thank you very much.